Good Friday evening, September 20th, and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Here are a few of the stories we have coming up for you tonight. Group 14, a Moses Lake battery technology company, will get $200 million in federal funding to build a new facility. Local agencies and programs that fight substance abuse disorders can apply for funds received from national opioid class action settlements. Sunny skies expected tomorrow with clouds moving in for the first day of fall on Sunday. Your full local weather forecast is coming up. A Douglas County jury took just under 2 hours today to find a 74-year-old Rock Island man guilty of bludgeoning his wife to death in their trailer home in 2018. Ului Tealilo was convicted just before noon today of both first and second-degree murder in the killing of his 68-year-old wife, Peggy Tealilo, who was found dead in her bedroom from multiple skull fractures. The jury of 7 men and 5 women agreed that Tealilo acted with intent and premeditation when he killed his wife. She had reported instances of threats and domestic violence from her husband and was making plans to leave him before she died. Tealilo has remained jailed for more than 6 years while his trial was stalled by multiple appeals and the COVID-19 pandemic. On the stand, he said he was acting in self-defense when he injured his wife. He's now scheduled to be sentenced October 22nd. He is likely to spend the rest of his life in prison. Group 14, a Moses Lake battery technology company, will get $200 million in federal funding to build a new facility. The funding was secured by U.S. Senators Patty Murray and Maria Cantwell from the U.S. Department of Energy. The new facility will help Group 14 produce silane, a gas critical for the development and manufacturing of new energy storage devices and advanced batteries. Cantwell and Murray's offices said the largest source of silane gas is China, and this work will help secure domestic supply chains and manufacturing in the future. The facility is expected to create 300 construction jobs and retain 150 production employees. Outgoing Chelan County Commissioner Tiffany Gehring has endorsed Wenatchee property developer Flint Hartwig to take her seat representing the 3rd District. Gehring, a Chelan Republican who was elected to the seat in 2020, announced she would not seek re-election in April. In her endorsement, Gehring praised Hartwig's character and said he is someone who, quote, understands the perspective of those he serves. Hartwig came in second to retiring Senator Brad Hawkins, both Republicans during the August primary election, with Hawkins earning 59.71% of the vote and Hartwig earning 15.8%. Ahead of the primary election, Hartwig told NCWLIFE News he hoped to utilize his business experience if elected as county commissioner. When we come back, RiverCom will host public safety testing for prospective employees on Saturday in East Wenatchee. And the State Department of Fish and Wildlife says the Icicle River is open for coho salmon fishing starting at sunrise tomorrow. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
The Lake Chelan Chamber of Commerce presents Wonders of Wooden Avenue.
Culinary Apple is North Central Washington's premier kitchen store, with everything you need to elevate your own culinary experience.
For the most unique wine tasting experience in the Chelan Valley, visit One Wines. Popular for being the smallest and most intimate facility in the valley, it features one red, one white, and one rosé. Complex wines, simple elegance.
Wonders of Wooden Avenue, North Central Washington's premier shopping district.
Riley Gaines, the All-American female swimmer at the University of Kentucky, is our guest speaker for the Chelan County Republican Lincoln Day Dinner and Fundraiser, September 22nd at 6 p.m. at the Wenatchee Convention Center. Riley's call to action is to defend and protect America's daughters from competing with and sharing locker rooms with biological men. Join us for an exciting evening with Riley Gaines and support our local candidates. VIP event at 5, dinner at 6. Go to Chelan County Lincoln Day at gmail.com for tickets.
Paid for by the Chelan County Republican Central Committee.
I'm Jim Heinlein at Springwater Insurance, and rumors about Medicare are circulating, and that's unfortunate. As licensed agents, we are not to discuss or hint about plan changes until October 1st. This helps prevent confusion. So join us on October 1st, 2nd, and 3rd at the Wenatchee Convention Center. I, with my staff, have studied all the plan changes you'll be faced with, and we'll teach you about your options for Medicare health and drug plans. Give us a call to let us know what day you'll be attending. 509-888-2600.
Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa, located on South Wenatchee Ave, has the largest selection of spas and swim spas in town. Stay cool this summer in an artesian swim spa and use it all year long. We enjoy helping families reconnect one spa at a time. Hot tubs are proven to improve sleep and decrease arthritis pain. Our passion is water, so please bring us a water sample, and we will help you diagnose your pool or spa water for free. Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa, your pool and spa experts.
RiverCom, the 911 service for the Wenatchee Valley, has long had a shortage of telecommunicators, the skilled staff who take emergency calls and dispatch fire and police agencies to the scene. Now the shortage is growing critical, and RiverCom will host public safety testing for prospective employees on Saturday in East Wenatchee. Executive Director Doug Jones told NCWLIFE News the job pays a rough starting salary of about $55,000 a year.
I really call my telecommunicators superheroes because they really are. I mean, they're doing a lot of work. They're providing comfort to callers. They're saving lives. We had 6 life saves last year alone, where our dispatchers talked people through CPR, and it was reviewed by a doctor, and the doctor said, yes, had it not been for the dispatchers talking them through CPR, these people would have not made it. So real-time heroes is what I call them, because they're out there every day doing a great job. We've got a big job. We answer about 60,000 911 calls per year, about 100,000 business line calls. So they're constantly answering phone lines, and we dispatch for 22 different agencies. So that's a lot of work. We are authorized 37 telecommunicators, and currently we're at 22. We contract with public safety testing, as do all the law enforcement agencies. I think the jail does too, to do our initial testing. So if you're interested in becoming a telecommunicator, a lot of benefits, and we can talk about those. The first thing you need to do is go to our website at rivercom911.org, and there's a link there to start that process, signing up with public safety testing. You got to be 18, obviously, but and you can apply with us. And we put literally 7 months to a year training into making you a telecommunicator. And that is a skill that you will have for life. That's like becoming a nurse or something. I mean, getting that skill is something you're going to have for life, and something you can take. We don't want you to leave, but something you can take other places and make this kind of money. And I don't know of any other job that you can come out of high school and get, $50,000 starting, and within your first year up to $60,000, $55,000 a year is kind of where we're starting at. And then after the first year, make it through your probationary period, you're up over 60. So that's not bad.
Local agencies and programs that fight substance abuse disorders can apply for funds received from national opioid class action settlements. Earlier this year, the Washington State Attorney General's office announced the state will receive $371.8 million from 5 companies that produced or sold opioids, to be divided between the state and 125 eligible local governments. Chelan and Douglas counties and the cities of Wenatchee and East Wenatchee signed on to the settlements and are accepting project proposals to be funded by the dollars received. The proposals must include a detailed description of the project, how and where the funds will impact opioid or fentanyl abuse, the amount of funding requested, and a description of how long the projects will run. The proposals are due by 4 p.m. on October 11th, and more information on how to submit proposals can be found on the NCWLIFE and Chelan County websites. The State Department of Fish and Wildlife says the Icicle River is open for coho salmon fishing starting at sunrise tomorrow, just upstream and downstream of the Leavenworth National Fish Hatchery. The limited season only applies to coho, and all other salmon species must be thrown back if caught. Fish biologists say the coho return this year is sizable enough to justify allowing the season, although it may close at any time, particularly if it begins to impact other protected fish species. The minimum catch size is 12 inches. Coming up next, Chelan County has registered its disapproval of the federal plan to bring grizzly bears back to the North Cascades. And last night, some Upper Valley locals did the same. We'll have more on that coming up next in tonight's feature story. Seasonal weather this weekend with warmer than normal temperatures expected next week. I'll have all the details coming up in your full local weather forecast. That and much more still to come tonight. Please stay with us.
In Digital Media Arts program, we learn about video production gear and editing by the combination of class projects and nonprofit work and employment.
It makes things happen.
Yeah.
It's pretty magical.
We work in the industry at the Wenatchee Road, NCWLIFE channel, and the Town Toyota Center events. Every day we work with industry standard equipment for a hands-on learning experience.
Hi, I'm Mike Steele, and I've been honored to serve you as our state representative for District 12 for the last 8 years. With experience in several leadership roles in civic organizations, as well as being a lifelong resident, I've championed projects that have made a difference in our community. I plan to continue the progress we've made together.
Re-elect Mike Steele, your voice in Olympia. Together we can achieve more. Visit votemikesteele.com. Paid for by the citizens to elect Mike Steele.
There's no place like home, because home is where we're totally comfortable. It's where we can be ourselves and let our guards down. It's where we make memories, and we're always imagining new ways to keep it totally comfortable. Carrier, total comfort, totally happy.
Turn to the experts, Carrier and Alpine Air. Heat and air, call Alpine Air.
Public notice! With summer ending, there's never a better time than now to get your new or used RV at Click It RV. New RVs for $199 over invoice, and used RVs priced below Blue Book. Top brands like Grand Design, Winnebago, Rockwood, and more. Priced at deals you'll never see again. No payments until 2025 and low, first time ever interest rates for the summer end liquidation sale. Nobody beats a Click It RV deal.
I'm Richard Sherman, and we guarantee it.
Trades welcome. Don't miss this liquidation event going on now at a Click It RV store near you. Click It RV.
Chelan County has registered its disapproval of the federal plan to bring grizzly bears back to the North Cascades. Last night, some Upper Valley locals did the same. It was the last of 3 community meetings hosted by Chelan County commissioners. This one held in Leavenworth, where the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service and other agencies involved in the grizzly strategy outlined the plan and took some public heat for it. In tonight's feature story, NCWLIFE News was there to listen in.
Just to lay it out there right out of the gates, Chelan County Commission has always been in opposition of the reintroduction of grizzly bears in our forest. We don't feel that that's something that needs to be assisted. If they wanted to be here, there's nothing keeping them out. To bring them back in is going to create some issues that I don't believe that we're ready for as a population that's moving further and further out into the woods.
Essentially, grizzly bears used to be in the North Cascades, and now they're not. And the population in the North Cascades was decimated primarily by direct killing by humans, not by habitat loss, and that's really important. The habitat is still there. Within a several decade period in the 1800s, thousands of grizzly bear pelts were taken out of this general area, and for an animal that reproduces very slowly, that's a lot. And we commonly get the question, so if the habitat's protected, why haven't grizzly bears just shown up on their own? You have to go pretty far to the northwest to reach more viable grizzly bear populations. And in order for those more healthy populations of bears to migrate down, they would have to cross a pretty significant amount of man-made infrastructure, including Canada Highway 3, a number of railroad tracks, Metro Vancouver. So all of that infrastructure presents an impediment and part of the reason they haven't migrated down. Recent modeling suggests that the carrying capacity of the North Cascades ecosystem is approximately 280 grizzly bears. That's what the ecosystem is capable of supporting. And grizzly bears are omnivores. We have these ideas from popular media and in our imaginations about, pure carnivores, but they actually eat a significant amount of vegetation, and in some areas, it's a majority of their diet, primarily vegetation. There are hundreds of plant and fungi species in the North Cascades that are found in other areas that are potential grizzly bear foods. Grizzly bears also eat carrion, dead things, insects, small mammals. They may take kills from other predators and occasionally kill large animals.
With over 1.3 million backcountry visits in Yellowstone National Park since 1991 and over 1,000 grizzly bears residing in and around the park, the risk for a grizzly bear attack is 1 for every 1.7 million overnight stays in the backcountry. So while everybody takes the injury seriously, of course, the risk of a grizzly bear attack is minuscule when you consider that amount compared to other risks. For instance, the risk of dying in a motor vehicle crash is 1 in 93. I just wanted to bring that up so we kind of put it all in perspective.
I've been involved with the White River Valley now for 83 years. When I was a lot shorter, this time of year, we used to see bear tracks that were 8 to 10 inches in diameter along the riverbank where the fish were spawning. That ain't no black bear, fellas. Right now, we have got a resident bear, fairly large, suntan colored. On the property, we have one bear scrape that is over 10 feet tall, where a bear has gone up and scraped the bark on a cedar tree. That is not a black bear. I haven't seen a black bear that big. However, that suntan bear we've got there could be.
Has anyone considered how many dead salmon are after spawning in Chihuahua Creek that they will now smell, the grizzly bears will, and eventually walk down into the White River and the Chihuahua drainage because of our supposed wonderful fishing game not allowing us to fish in that creek and river anymore, and it is full of salmon. I was up there the other day and they're already starting to spawn and die off the Chinook in that river. If you can think for 1 second and give me one good reason why you should reintroduce a grizzly bear to the Cascades, I'll pay you $100 right now. There is not a good reason. Don't do it. Please don't do it. I'm begging you not to do it.
Time now for a check of your North Central Washington weather forecast. Hope you had a great Friday, and boy, it was a nice one out there. Noticeably cooler than yesterday's high of 81 degrees. Did see a few more clouds out there today. Just some fair weather cumulus clouds around the area, and a beautiful shot looking down at the valley from our Wenatchee Heights Sky-Fi Tower camera. And as we get into this weekend, can you believe it? Our final weekend of summer, and here it is. We're going to see a mix of clouds and sun. I think we'll see sunshine Saturday, some cloudiness on Sunday. The rain shower activity will be in extreme northern Washington, so I don't expect any wet stuff for the weekend. And our overnight low is going to be down there a little bit with low temperatures. Some locations, especially northern Okanagan County, in the low 40s. So it's getting a little bit cooler as we make our way through the weekend. 779 degrees today. We fried out there. Actually 79, our unofficial high temperature today. 75 is where we should be for this time of year, and 91 our record, and that was set back in 1967. We were at 57 this morning, 6 degrees above our normal low of 51, so it was a nice start to the day. 33 our record low, and that was set back in 1983. Sunrise this morning, 6:46, and the sun sets just after 7 o'clock tonight at 7:01. All right, taking a look at what we can expect for your Saturday. Temperatures a lot like today, a few degrees warmer. 75s all over the map, including Moses Lake, Ephrata, Quincy. You will see 75, and that goes for Wenatchee, Eniat, and Chelan. Mid-70s also for Leavenworth and Cashmere, while you folks in Lake Wenatchee, you will see a high tomorrow of 71 degrees. We are seeing high pressure out in the Pacific. That's keeping our weather fairly stable, and we'll see that tonight with mostly clear skies. A little bit chilly temperatures. I think we're going to drop down to about 50, maybe even 49 for an overnight low tonight. For Saturday then, kicking off our weekend, just beautiful, sunny and warmer. We will see highs tomorrow in those mid-70s, and it's kind of cool all over the inland Northwest and over even into Montana. Highs there only in the 50s on Saturday. Our first day of fall on Sunday, and it's going to be a cloudy one out there. See mostly cloudy skies. We will see warm temperatures though. as that area of high pressure brings that warmth our way for Sunday. High temperatures in the upper 70s. And then getting into Monday, we have a large area of high pressure that will be developing in the Colorado, Utah area. That will begin to warm us up. Monday, we're still going to feel the effects of that high. Temperatures around 80 degrees. For Tuesday then, this is where things really warm up. High pressure in the center of the country and a big dome of high pressure over the western United States. We're talking temperatures in the mid-80s as we get into Tuesday. For your Wednesday, we're going to stay on the warm side, sunny and warm. A few clouds in western Washington, but boy, central and eastern part of the state, we're talking low to mid-80s for high temperatures on Wednesday. And then by Thursday, a large area of low pressure begins to kind of cave our high pressure ridge in a little bit, and that'll bring some clouds into western Washington for Thursday. Cooler temperatures too as we get back to a more northwesterly flow. High temperatures at the end of our forecast, still nice. And the temperatures in the upper 70s. 7-day forecast overnight tonight, 57 degrees. 50 or 75 our high on Saturday, 52 our low, and then a few more clouds for the first day of fall on Sunday, but we're going to warm up a little at 78. And then these 3 days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, all unseasonably warm for this time of year. Our warmest day Tuesday at 84, and by the time we get you into Thursday, mostly sunny, just a little bit cooler, with high temperatures then of 78 degrees. And that's a look at your North Central Washington weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
Thank you for trusting Abby's Legendary Pizza for 60 years. Your hard-earned money supports hundreds of youth working at our parlors, dozens and dozens of nonprofits and school teams throughout the area. At Abby's, doing good in the neighborhood has never tasted so delicious. Can you smell it? It's not arugula and pear. It's bacon, and cheddar. Yep. Everybody's favorite pizza is back on sale this month at Abby's, loaded with 2 kinds of bacon and real cheddar cheese. Enjoy Abby's September special at a very special price.
And a happy Friday to you. A quick look at Northwest sports. Mariners held off the Yankees yesterday 3-2. They're in Texas to take on the Rangers. Washington State will go for a 4-0 start to the college football season with a game at home tonight. Cougars are hosting San Jose State at Martin Stadium at 7 o'clock. That'll be on the CW network. That's channel 11 for local tel subscribers. Eastern Washington's on the road at Montana for a noon kickoff tomorrow with the Grizzlies. That's on ESPN+. Washington has another home game and hopes to bounce back from the Apple Cup loss against Northwestern tomorrow. That kicks off at 4 o'clock. That game will be on FS1. Central Washington's on the road at Texas A&M. That'll kick off at 5 o'clock. The Seahawks are home against Miami on Sunday. That'll kick off at 1:05. The Hawks trying to stay unbeaten. That kicks off at 1:05 on CBS. Wenatchee's Big 9 opener will be center stage on the NCWLIFE channel tonight. After an 0-2 start in non-league play, the Panthers host the Eisenhower Cadets at Leibofto Field of the Apple Bowl. Coach Taylor Mitchell hopes the momentum gain in the second half of last week's game against Mount Si carries through tonight.
A huge confidence builder for our kids. Running the ball, we had some really nice pass plays there in the second half. I think our kids understand that we faced 2 really good opponents, and I think our kids are fired up, be back in the Apple Bowl, get rolling with our league schedule, because all of the goals that we set as a football team were focused on our league. Sure. Again, we're battle tested and we're ready to get rolling with Eisenhower tonight.
Junior signal caller Ryan Branham says it was nice to have some balance to the offensive side of things in the last week's game, despite having a losing effort.
Been able to kind of lean more on the run to set up the pass game. Lake City, Finn Matheson was out, and it kind of, messed things up for us a little bit because we had to go strictly to the pass game. Right. So yeah, having that run and pass game there is definitely good.
Coach Mitchell says Branham continues to make strides week by week and is looking forward to seeing what he can do against the Cadets tonight.
I thought, again, he's improved from our preseason, week 1 to week 2. Saw a big improvement there also. Stretching the field vertically, I thought looked good last week. We were there in the fourth quarter. It was a 2-possession game, and he threw a couple just beautiful footballs down the football field and just hit off receivers' hands. It's like, hey, if we make that play, it's a one-possession football game mid to late in the fourth quarter, and that's all you can ask for when you're playing against good opponents.
Branham says the first 2 weeks have set the Panthers up for success against Eisenhower.
Yeah, well, those preseason games definitely set us up, especially Mount Si. And I mean, if we perform like we did against Mount Si, I think it'll be an easy game for us.
You think so?
Yeah, we're gonna run the ball and pass it quite a bit, and we're gonna score a lot. So.
Tune in for the pregame show tonight, 6:30. Grant Olson, Brandon Harley, yours truly here on the NCW Life channel. Well, Eastmont's Big 9 opener is on the road at Davis tonight after falling at home 14-7 to Post Falls last week. Coach Jay Foster says there were plenty of lessons learned.
Early in the game, the 0-0, we get the 50 or 55-yard run, we bust off, and then instead of going in for a touchdown, it comes back as a touchback, and then they go 80 and score on the next series, and so there's a 14-point swing right off the get-go, and then it seemed like in the second half we started to get some things going, but we just shoot ourselves in the foot, and you can't do that. We've got to cut out the silly mistakes, the silly penalties, and be able to win games like that. It was a very winnable ball game.
Foster says Davis is no pushover despite going 0-2 to start the season. He admits they have his kind of players.
They've got 4 or 5 kids that can get it done. The quarterback's got a great arm. I think his disadvantage is he's not very tall, but he's one of those kids that, you know, ball just pops out of his hand. So they'll cause us. They always have guys. It's just a matter, can we keep them contained? Usually if we take care of business, because we take care of business up front.
Eastmont has had some success on the ground through a couple of games, but nothing like what they're used to. Junior running back Dax Dixon says they're following a unique motto from offensive coordinator Jay Toller going into Yakima tonight.
We're going to run the ball. We're going to kick the tree. That's our motto, KTT. So we're going to keep doing it until it works.
Okay, kick the tree. Okay, who's saying is that?
Toller.
Okay, so what does that mean?
Kick the tree. That means we're not going to stop until it breaks them. So we're going to keep running, and then eventually we'll pop one through. So
see the leaves start falling and then
yes, sir.
Timber, right?
Yep.
Eastmont kicks off at Davis at 7 o'clock. Moses Lake opens Big 9 play at Sunnyside, while West Valley has a non-league game at home against Sela. Cashmere takes its 2-0 record on the road at College Place tonight. That's an early kickoff. By the way, we've added the game with Royal October 4th to our schedule here on the NCW Life channel, so be sure and tune in for that. Cascade hosts Natchez Valley at 7 o'clock, while Waluke is at Kiona Benton. Wapato hosts Zilla. The aforementioned Knights are on the road at Connell tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. In the CWAC last night, Prosser barely fought off East Valley 36-35. Ephrata visits Ellensburg tonight at 7. Quincy hosts Toppenish. Grandview plays on the road at Othello. Chelan hosts Blaine tonight at 6 o'clock. We mentioned Natchez Valley and Shaston. Omax hosting Colville. That's at 7 o'clock. In the 2B football tonight, Okanagan has an intriguing matchup at Linden Christian at 6. Lake Roosevelt hosts Brewster at 7, while the Manson Trojans are at Liberty Bell. Tonasket hosts Warden tomorrow at 5 o'clock. Wellpinett beat Bridgeport last night 38-6 for the 1Bs. Tonight, Oroville hosts Columbia Stevens at 3, or actually that was earlier today. Entiat hosts Touchy at 7. Tico Rosalia travels to Moses Lake Christian. Waterville Mansfield plays at Odessa. Well, wrapping up the sports scoreboard from last night. First of all, girls soccer, Omak blasted Manson 9-0. Okanagan blanked Bridgeport 5-0. Tonasket rang Liberty Bell 6-0. Brewster beat Pateras 4-3. Cascade collapsed Oroville 15-0. Reardon down Lake Roosevelt 5-1. Cashmere was a 6-1 winner at Connell. Othello edged Chelan 1-0. Wenatchee took care of Quincy 5-1. Coming up tomorrow on the soccer pitch, Omax hosting Bridgeport at 11, while Warden's at Tonasket. Oroville hosts Pateras. Ephrata visits Grandview at noon. Quincy has a 12:15 kickoff at home against Lakeside 9 Mile Falls. Cashmere hosts Wapato at 1, while Highlands at Okanagan. Moses Lake hosts West Valley, and Eastmont is home against Sunnyside. On the prep volleyball courts last night, winners included Pateras, Grandview, Prosser, Casuar, Chelan, Omak, Okanagan, Manson, Entiat, Sunnyside, and West Valley. Coming up tomorrow, 24 teams, including many for North Central Washington, at the Ephrata Varsity Volleyball Tournament. That starts at 9 a.m. Manson hosts a round-robin event with Adna, Brewster, and La Center in town at 10. Cashmere hosts Wapato at 11:30. Bridgeport plays at Oroville at 1:30. Tonasket hosts Warden at 2. Wenatchee hosts Linden tomorrow afternoon at 2:30. That's a look at sports news. I'm Eric Grandstrom. Have a good weekend.
And that will do it for our newscast tonight. For more news from around North Central Washington, you can find us at NCWLIFE.com, on our social media channels, or on our mobile app for iPhone and Android. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. Email us at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-NCWL. That's 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks so much for being with us, and have a great weekend.